Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Glitters of Life podcast. I am your host, Rohit Kokane. And my dear friends, I hope you are doing all well. And today we have come up with an exciting episode. See, we all want to elevate our performance into our professional and personal life as well. And we have to climb that growth ladder. So, how do we do that? What is the exact process? And to guide you on this particular topic, to talk about this very conversation, we have a very special guest with us. She is none other than Deepti Malhotra. So, Dipti, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure to host you. And to tell our audience, Dipti, she is a life and leadership coach. So, she will be talking more about how we can dwell into this particular topic and can bring best out of for the audience. So, Dipti, I just want to go back into times and ask you one specific thing that you were working in London as a project manager. So, what was that particular moment when you decided to come back to India? What kind of thoughts you were having at that particular moment? And what was that self-talk did you do so that people will be able to know what was your journey like and when you started doing this life and leadership coaching?
So, when I was working as a project manager in London, I had been in London for about 4 years, and I came to this point where I had to decide visa renew karna hai ya nahi karna hai. And I was like, I'm so settled here that the easiest thing would be to continue working there. But there was a voice inside me that said, ki, no, it's time to go back and contribute to the country that you've come from. And it may not seem easy, it may not seem like smooth because, shifting from one country to another, a culture and all of that, although I've grown up here. So I did have a struggle where I was like, what should I do? But I think that what really pushed me in the direction of finally coming back is before going to London, I had this desire कि मैं जाऊँ, मैं सीखूँ, मैं बहुत कुछ करूँ वहाँ पे और फिर वापस आकर I can, contribute to my own country. So I think that really sort of pushed me to come back. And when I came back, I honestly had no idea that one day I would become a coach. I thought, I would continue doing the kind of work that I'm doing. So that's what happened.
Great to know, because then we have a lot of thoughts into our mind. We have to do a lot of introspection. So are we taking the right step? Are we going to enjoy what is lying ahead of us? So that is again a great thing, so that we come to know to a point where that we are introspecting ourselves. We are talking about how we can do better into our life, so that it brings great results for us. Because then taking such drastic steps can be fatal as well, because we are not sure like how we are going to perform, because we get used to that particular situation. The money is coming, the life is quite settled, you are having great people around you, and then you try to make that particular impact. So again, I loved your process, the thought process, I would say, because then it is not an easy decision to make. So glad you're back here and doing fabulous work into the industry, so that you are guiding people, you are helping people to reach to their full potential. Yeah. So Dipti, I feel that there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of inconsistency between the people. So it always hampers the personal and professional growth as well. So what do you think are the kind of situations which feel that people get stuck into such situation? What do you have to say about those things?
What kind of situations? You mean when there's a conflict between personal and professional life?
Exactly.
Okay, right. So I think क्या होता है रोहित, हमें ना एक लाइफ का गाइड मैप दिया हुआ है कि आपकी लाइफ ऐसे होगी. 18 years पे you'll go to college, 22 पे you'll graduate, 25 पे you'll be in this and this job, and हम उसको इतना accept कर लेते हैं unconditionally without questioning कि we just start going down that path. And honestly, that's what I had also started doing. And what I realized, I think I was fortunate, I was privileged that in my very first job, although I was earning good money, I was in a good position, good city, great company, all of that, I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel like this is what I'm meant to do, that I'm doing something worthy with my life. And I was also actually quite happy personally. So when that happened, it sort of made me question, ये जो मॉडल ऑफ लाइफ मैं अभी तक फॉलो कर रही थी, ये मैंने क्यों किया? Why did I do this and do I still want to continue doing it? So to answer your question, वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बहुत बार इसलिए अराइज होता है क्योंकि हमारा जो मन है या जो हमारी अपनी डिजायर्स और ड्रीम्स और गोल्स है ना, वो एक डायरेक्शन में हमें खींच रहे होते हैं,
हाँ
और जो हमें लाइफ का पाथ दिया हुआ है वो हमें दूसरी डायरेक्शन में खींच रहा होता है. सो उसमें इस तरीके से हम जा रहे होते हैं. दे आर एट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विद ईच अदर, नॉट ऑलवेज बट अ लॉट ऑफ द टाइम. एंड व्हाट आई encourage people, everyone, and especially when I work with someone, is that छोड़ दो किसी ने क्या कहा, सोसाइटी ने क्या कहा, including your parents, your teachers, your mentors. They all mean well. They have great intentions, but they are giving you what is a model for life according to them.
yeah
You have to figure yours out for yourself. So you have to start off questioning your own self. You know, the process of reflecting and introspecting and discovering who am I. मुझे क्या चाहिए लाइफ से और मैं वो कैसे उस जगह पे पहुंचूं and I can feel like fulfilled in what I'm doing and feel like this is my life, this is what I want to live. So those answers come from doing that work on yourself, the introspection, the discovery work of what does life mean for me, what does a job look like for me, or what should I want to do? I want to work for myself? What kind of work will make an impact and also sort of utilize my skills, my strength, and make me go to bed as a happy person, whether a man or a woman or whatever. So I feel like those answers lie here.
Definitely, because we all have to ask those questions to ourselves. But I feel that जब हम कभी कभी सवाल करते हैं खुद को, we get stuck as at that particular point as well. So how do you like particularly look after to that particular situation? Because then it might not be the answer that we are looking to get from ourselves as well. So we always seek help. But then if we are doing that particular self-talk, if we are expecting results then at that particular point, then what would be your suggestion? What would be your guiding force to that particular situation?
I want to use something you said. You said, you know, we may not get the answer we want.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting because that tells us कि हमारी ना बहुत सारी preconceived notions या assumption है कि हमें ऐसा type of answer चाहिए. That is a problem. You know, when you are doing introspection work, the important thing is to go in with a blank mind कि कुछ भी आंसर आ सकता है. There are no right or wrong answers. ये जो right and wrong का वाला thing है, again we get from society कि ये करोगे तो right है, ये करोगे तो it's not good enough, it's not perfect, you won't fit in. So वो जो right and wrong वाले boxes हैं, they sort of hamper us. And what I would say is when you're going to do this sort of work, you have to be super, super honest with yourself and willing to receive the answers you get. They will often be difficult, they will not be what you like, or they may not be easy, they may be very, very challenging to implement. But I can promise you that if you go with that voice that comes from within, the kind of life that you will live will fulfill you in ways that nothing else ever can. Nothing that anybody else would say can triumph or beat what would come from within.
Right. So that is quite important thing to know, that we have to trust our instincts. We have to trust our gut feeling. So whatever we are doing, then we have to trust the process as well. Because then if we are trusting that particular process, things will fall for us eventually. Because then when I started podcast, I wasn't I was quite a clueless person, like how it will go, what kind of people I would be talking about, or to like what kind of topics will people love to listen from me. So I just kept on going and going, and then I tried to figure it out, like this works best for my audience, this is how I feel connected with them, and then try to mold accordingly. So it was just about the inner calling, which exactly you said, like, so that is again important thing. Now, Dipti, you are into the coaching thing, and one of my friend on Twitter wants to ask this particular question to you. His name is Kiran. Like, how do you break the ice and get coaches to open? Because this is quite interesting. We all have certain things that we will be keeping with us. We won't be sharing with the coach. So how do you deal with such situations, and how do you come up to know that he or she is hiding something?
Right. So I'll be honest, there's no breaking the ice.
Okay.
I allow people to just tell me whatever little or however much they're comfortable with. And what I create a whatever is my capacity, what I create is a space where you can say anything because there's no judgment, there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad. My only intention, not just as a coach, but as a human being, is to empower you, is to help you find the answer that's right for you. So I actually do a lot more listening than talking. And my job is to just help you find your own direction. So often I will just ask you one question. I won't even ask you details about मुझे ये बताओ या आपकी लाइफ में क्या चल रहा है या ये प्रॉब्लम की डिटेल्स. I'm not interested because it's not the details may your answer lies. Your answer lies here. So my job is literally to take your hand and pull you in a direction and allow you to explore it yourself. And जब आप उस direction में जाते हो ना, I don't have to push. You actually begin to open up yourself because your mind realizes, oh my God, मैंने ये सारी नहीं देखी, मैंने ऐसा सोचा नहीं. So I have no interest in the details. So like it doesn't, there's no icebreaker. There's just pure love, support, and service here. And I think that when people feel it, they naturally, just want to open up and talk about what's going inside them.
Exactly. And they might be having family and friends as well to talk about this particular thing. But it is a human nature that we trust a third person more often so that we feel more comfortable and then we can drive ourselves to that beautiful journey because we are somewhere down the line kind of liable to elevate our performance as well. So if someone is pushing towards that particular thing, we always should be taking efforts to take that beautiful route because then there is a great journey which is lying ahead of us. And अगर हम खुद को एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाते हैं, खुद को ओपनली बोल नहीं सकते हैं, तो शायद कहीं ना कहीं वो घुटन रहेगी. And that emotionally causes a lot of damage. So it is obviously a great thing to express yourself, no matter what, how foolish it might sound, how foolish it might look as well. So great thing to know because then people have this kind of a notion like कि क्या क्या बोलना पड़ेगा, क्या क्या बताना पड़ेगा if we are looking for a coach. So that was coming from that particular thing. Now, moving forward, Dipti, I'm loving this particular conversation. And now, when we talk about the personal and professional growth, we always want to take a step ahead. And to take that particular step, I feel that we all have to take actions. So, the first step towards taking that particular step is that we need to set intentions and then we have to take action toward it. But then there is a gap between these two, the intentions and the action. So how we can bridge this particular gap, what we have to say to ourselves, or like how do you see to this particular situation again?
So even before intention क्या आता है, just the clarity of where you are currently. Okay. Intention is kahan jana hai. But before that, you should, let's say I am in Delhi right now, okay? And I want to go to, let's say, Mumbai. So I need to know where I am so I can start from Delhi to Mumbai or wherever I want to go.
Right.
So before, intention comes the clarity of where I am. And because I just gave you a physical example of a location, in life, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of time to understand where I am, why am I here, what led me to this place. Because a lot of times people are unhappy, they're stuck, they're frustrated. And unless you figure out or learn कि मैं यहाँ कैसे पहुँचा, आगे पहुंचने वाली बात ना इट्स लाइक जल्दी में नहीं जाना है, पहले ये तो समझो कि यहाँ पे क्या क्यों पहुंच गए. So you sort of first understand why did I land up here, and before even setting intentions or goals, my point is कि आपको क्या चाहिए लाइफ से, व्हाट्स द बिग पिक्चर. बिकॉज गोल्स बहुत बाद में आते हैं, एक बार गोल बन जाए तब वी सॉर्ट ऑफ गेट टू फोकस्ड ऑन दैम. बट फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट डू यू वांट फ्रॉम लाइफ, what do you want to create for yourself? And I don't mean just the tangible things, I actually mean the experience you want in life. Do you want a career where you're making a big contribution to the society, or do you want a career where you can work by yourself and just use your own skills, or do you want a career where you have a lot of work life balance? मतलब आपको कैसा feel करना है, experience क्या करना है, personal life maybe, not just
Right.
professionally. Do you want like a great family life? Do you want a lot of time there? So once we start getting clear कि अभी हम कहाँ हैं और चाहिए क्या, तब इंटेंशन बनाते हैं कि अच्छा अगर हम यहाँ जाएंगे ना तो शायद जो काइंड ऑफ लाइफ हमें चाहिए वो हमें मिल जाए. That's how you sort of get to the point of setting the intention. And वो जो intention से action के बीच का gap है वो actually छोटा नहीं, बहुत बड़ा.
Yeah.
और उसमें what lies is how sincere you are about what you're saying you want. Because the thing is, we get too focused on मेरे पास motivation नहीं है वहां पहुंचने की. अरे यार, motivation ना खुद ब खुद आ जाती है when you're very very clear and sincere about what you want. And उसके लिए discover करना जरूरी है. Why do I want this? अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ that I want a great work-life balance, क्यों चाहिए? What will that do for you? When you start discovering those answers, तब आपके mind में इतनी clarity आ जाती है कि आपको motivation generate नहीं करनी पड़ेगी, वो खुद से आएगी अंदर से. जैसे जब आपको पता है कि आपको दिल्ली टू मुंबई जाना और आपको फ्लाइट लेनी है ना, तो आपको कोई मोटिवेट नहीं कर रहा. आपको पता है मुझे, मैं यहाँ से यहाँ जाऊंगा, फिर फ्लाइट लूंगा, फिर ये कर. सिमिलरली इन लाइफ वो क्लैरिटी, वो मोटिवेशन, वो डायरेक्शन खुद ब खुद आ जाती है जब when we are clear and honest, sincere, यही चाहिए. It's not when our reasons are right. It's not because मम्मी पापा ने बोला, society को ये चाहिए, those kind of things. So that's important before we get to like even intention and action.
Absolutely, that is a true example, is what I feel. So Deepti, how this particular transformation come into your life? Because then you were in London, तो फिर कभी आपने ऐसे सोचा था कि मुझे यहाँ जाना है, यहाँ से मैं वहां जाऊंगी? So what was that particular route about your life?
I'll be honest, when I came back from London, I was super lost. I was like, it was a whole different world. I can't tell you, because I was working in a very different environment to the kind of environment I started working in here. यहाँ तो ऐसे लगता था कि कोई इंसान कुछ बोल रहा हो वो करेगा भी नहीं, और वो टाइमलाइन भी नहीं फॉलो होगी, और like who to trust and what to say. So I was very lost. But I think, again, I feel super grateful that when I came back, I felt so lost, because that really pushed me to really dig deep. कि यार मैं क्या कर रही हूँ लाइफ में और मुझे अब क्या करना है.
Okay.
And actually at that point, because I was lost and I started questioning society and the model of life we've been given, what happened is that I went into this phase where I was super focused on who I am, what my skills and strengths are, what my purpose in life is. So say kaise actually realize karna hai. So I started meditating a lot, reading a lot, working out, painting. So I just went into this whole phase where like I just wanted to find out all about me. And that, I think, played a transformative role, because I found my purpose. I started working towards it in a small way, and those small steps over the years, like I had no idea what coaching is a few years back, honestly. बट मैं वो जो जब एक बार पर्पस मिल गया ना, मुझे ये नहीं पता था कहाँ कैसे पहुंचूंगी, बट आई वाज लाइक अच्छा आई कैन टेक दिस वन स्टेप टुडे एंड देन दैट वन टुमारो एंड देन दैट वन द डे आफ्टर. और वो करते 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 लाइफ इतना कुछ सिखाती है, स्पेशली लाइक आई सेड, व्हेन यू आर सिंसियर अबाउट योर डिजायर, तो वो आपको इट विल सेंड यू ऑल द सपोर्ट. सो आई वाज सुपर सिंसियर, मेरा ये पर्पस है, तो एवरीथिंग एल्स इन लाइफ इज सेकंड एंड आई वांट टू डू दिस. So धीरे धीरे like it wasn't like ऐसे, बहुत सारे obstacles थे, challenges थे. I felt like confused and overwhelmed and like just like क्या हो रहा है. But धीरे धीरे रास्ता मिलता गया and yeah.
Definitely a great way to look at it. वो मुझे दिमाग में मीम याद आ रहा था अश्नीर ग्रोवर का, भाई क्या कर रहा है तू. तो ऐसे कभी हुआ था कि बहन क्या कर रही है तू? ऐसे कोई लोग कहते थे, फ्रेंड्स कहते थे कि you are having a great job, then you came back and then you are clueless about what you have to do ahead, and then sudden transformation, like you went into the coaching thing. you are doing absolutely fab. I love the kind of thoughts you have. I love the kind of content you put on social media, because that has always inspired me, because I feel content about after reading that particular thing. I get more clarity about how it should be all about. So ऐसे कुछ situations थे, like your friends and family always ask you this question कि like what you are going to do next, how you are going to do next?
I'll be honest, there were not a few. There were a lot of situations where people were like, "Are you mad?" First of all, people didn't understand कि तुम लंदन से यहाँ आए पूरी life छोड़ के. They're like, "क्यों? Like why? Like you have a fully settled life there." उसके बाद मैं आ गई and I was working in my family business for a while, and then when I decided to leave, so then when I decided to become a coach, I'll be honest, like I said, my family was like, "Have you lost it? What is wrong with you? You have this whole thing here. You're doing fine, and now you want to become a coach in an industry you know nothing about, and why would someone come to you? You're so young and blah blah blah, you know, all those kinds of questions." And I don't blame them. First of all, coaching is a nascent industry in India. People don't understand or know a lot about it.
Exactly.
And parents do feel scared for their children when they're like going out to do something like completely new. And honestly, when I started, I didn't know what my journey would be like. And I was very scared as well, because who knows if I'll succeed, if I'll fail. एंड कोई क्लियर कट पाथ नहीं था, कोई मेंटोर नहीं था, कोई ऐसा नहीं था गाइडेंस कर रहा है कि अभी ये स्टेप के बाद वो स्टेप लो. सो इट वाज there were a lot of moments when I was like, what am I doing? Like, kya ho raha hai? Like, am I like on the right path? But again and again and again, I keep saying this. I go back to my inner voice and I trust the guidance that I get from it. And my desire to serve my purpose is so strong that I'm willing to go through anything and everything in order to do that. And I remember, you know, I was in San Francisco for work before I quit. And there I had this moment when I was in my room having dinner kar liya. Uske baad I'm reading a book, and the book, it was a Paulo Coelho book.
Yeah.
And in that book, I think it's a flowing river. He says that the courage to walk on the path will help the path appear for you. And I read it, and I was so deeply impacted by it, because डर मुझे भी लग रहा था, कुछ पता नहीं आगे अभी क्या है. But then that line just told me कि भाई, believe in yourself, trust yourself, वो courage रखो, और आगे जो नहीं आता ना वो धीरे धीरे समझ आएगा. And that's how I've led my life. I've led my, you know, career and created, like I had no idea the kind of people that I'm working with today I would be. But it's all because आप एक step लेते हो और आप believe करते हो कि like I am a huge believer in the universe, the God.
Yeah.
That God is helping me in every way possible. तो जितनी problems आ रही है ना, सब इसीलिए आ रही है ताकि मैं उससे कुछ सीख जाऊं और इतना ग्रो हो जाऊं कि मैं 10,000 लोगों को हेल्प कर सकूं. That's how like I feel.
Interesting, because then काफी simplicity से तुमने ये सारी चीजों को face किया is what I feel, and that is the reason you are able to see clearly where you want to go, how you want to deal with such situations, and what kind of actions you have to take if such kind of situations pops up. Because then it is always about climbing those ladder. It is always about jumping through those hurdles that makes a person special. And then if you're able to figure it out of your own by doing a lot of introspection, by putting in a lot of time, and reading is something that I feel that you enjoy a lot. So that is something I can always see through this particular thing. So it's good to see that you have put in a lot of efforts to know what is your inner calling. Yeah. So Deepti, do you feel that our actions are dependent on, like our happiness is dependent on the actions of other people? How do you relate to this particular thought? Because then हमें बहुत से बार किसी लोगों ने कभी हर्ट किया होता है तो हमारी लाइफ काफी गिरी हुई सी लगती है. वी फील दैट वी आर डूइंग समथिंग रॉन्ग. सो देन ऐसे सिचुएशंस पे, ऐसे मोमेंट्स पे तुम्हारे क्या रिएक्शंस होते हैं?
Beautiful question, Rohit, because I think this is something that we all ask ourselves, and not once but at multiple points in our life कि like इतनी difficult life है and मेरी क्या गलती है, मैं मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है ये सब. And I have discovered not only in my own life, but as a result of coaching other people as well, that look, circumstances, life, situations, बहुत बार बहुत challenge करेंगी आपको, and you may not have directly contributed to it.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is that life, this universe, has given you all the resources you need to face any situation that you ever find yourself in. So our actions will definitely impact our happiness without a doubt, 100%. And that's where I feel like leadership really comes into the play, and I mean personal leadership.
Okay.
Because before you can lead anybody else, दूसरों को छोड़ दो, अपनी personal life ले लो. Let's say even if you're a student in school,
Yeah.
and you're struggling and your friends are out there and they're like, dude, why are you wasting time studying? Like, let's go chill, let's date, let's do this. You will be leading yourself through that situation. कि मेरे को क्या करना, मेरे लिए क्या सही है. हाँ, उस point पे नहीं, but at some point I think that every human being should sort of do this work of also figuring out मेरी life values क्या हैं. मतलब मेरे लिए life में क्या चीजें important है. And I don't just mean family or work. Those are like really big. But like going into it deeper. What do I value in life? What is it that I'm not willing to compromise on? जब आप ये सारी चीजें समझते हो, तो it becomes easier to make choices. It becomes easier to prioritize in a situation where things are very difficult. कि मैं ये रास्ता लूँ, वो रास्ता. That's when your leadership, your personal leadership comes into play, and you slowly, without leading anybody else, begin to learn the concept of leadership, how to practice it, and how to become a better leader. So, you are 100% responsible for how you feel, irrespective of आपको जो भी लगे ना. You have so much power, you have so much potential to completely change the way you feel, irrespective of आपके आसपास क्या हो रहा है.
सही बात है.
वो स्किल धीरे धीरे हम हर कोई सीख सकता है.
Yeah. Interesting. Dipti, you are such a thought leader for me, because then each and every word you say always impacts me. I'm just listening it to very like consciously to it, so that I can mold my life accordingly. And you said that universe always offers us a lot of resources, but then human nature is of such a kind that we always want more of it. So whatever we have, we always expect that I should be needing more of this. So how do you deal with certain things? Because then how we can be more content about our life, so that it will help us in personal and professional life as well. Because then there are certain qualities about our personal life जो कि हमारे प्रोफेशनल लाइफ को भी इम्पैक्ट करती है. बिकॉज देन वहां से ही हमारा जो परफॉर्मेंस होता है. सी एवरीवन हैज गॉट द स्किल्स. लाइक मैंने जो एजुकेशन लिया है, मेरे पास जो एबिलिटी है, वो मैं तो वर्क प्लेस पे तो एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा ही. बट देन देर आर सर्टन फैक्टर्स दैट कम्स फ्रॉम द पर्सनल लाइफ एज वेल. Okay, so in that particular situation, in that particular moment, what would be your thought process? How will you deal with certain moments so that it gets better, ताकि हमें ऐसे महसूस ना हो कि जो हमारे पास है उससे कुछ काम नहीं बन सकता है, हमें और चाहिए, और ऐसे लगते ही नहीं रहना चाहिए.
Again, really good question, because I feel this is a struggle every single human being goes through, that I want more, I want more, I want more. And I'll be honest, इसका answer simple है, थोड़ा difficult. Simple because I'll use an example again. मान लो आप दिल्ली में हो और आपने डिसाइड किया है कि मैं श्रीनगर जा रही हूँ, ठीक है? And you meet somebody else who's going to China. Sorry, who's going to China? So up north. And you're like, अरे यार ये तो international trip पे जा रही है, मुझे भी जाना चाहिए. Then you meet somebody else who's maybe flying to Europe, and you're like, अरे यार ये तो यूरोप जा रही है, मुझे भी जाना है. So confusion कब होगी? जब आपको ये नहीं पता कि आपको कहाँ जाना और क्यों जाना. अगर मुझे पता है कि मुझे श्रीनगर जाना है, because for example मुझे वो शिकारा राइड चाहिए डल लेक में, तो इट डजंट मैटर कि कौन यूरोप जा रहा है, कौन चाइना जा रहा है, कौन कहाँ जा रहा है. यही चीज लाइफ में होती है. वी डोंट नो व्हाई वी वांट व्हाट वी वांट. वी जस्ट वांट इट बिकॉज मम्मी पापा ने बोला, We want it because our friends have it. We want it because the celebrity has it. And उनकी life देखकर लगता है, my God, they're living the best life. So the simple answer is first figure out what you want from life and why. Why do you think this thing will make me happy? Whether it's a car, it's like XYZ salary, or it's a business that's running in 5 countries. क्यों चाहिए? Because as soon as you get that clarity is direction, it is purpose. Once you know why you want, वो जो more वाला thing है ना, वो खुद ब खुद हट जाता है. Then you say कि मुझे इस direction में जाना है, and I wanna keep going more in this direction. I don't want more.
Yeah.
But that more has meaning. It is fulfilling. So instead of asking yourself क्या चाहिए, ask yourself क्यों चाहिए जो इतनी सारी चीजें आप बस बोल रहे हो चाहिए. Because once you know that, then you stop competing with people. Then you stop just wanting more and more and more, because you know here कि मैं यहाँ जा रहा हूँ ना, तो क्यों जा रहा हूँ और इससे क्या होगा. And then you just like go for it.
Interesting. And there is a disclaimer out here. Deepti was sharing her personal story. She went to Kashmir recently.
I did.
So,
It was super adventurous.
exactly. So, any of your friends went to Europe or somewhere down at the particular same time?
No, they didn't. But like Srinagar came to my mind because I've just been there.
Great.
But
Amazing.
a question that a lot of people ask me, Kashmir, क्यों जा रहे हो? खुद जा रहे हो? Like, is this like, what? And you're like, I can handle it. Like, chill.
अरे मस्त है कश्मीर तो बढ़िया एक जगह है यू कैन फील अ लॉट ऑफ पीस आउट देयर एंड देयर इज अ ब्यूटी लाइक मोर एंड मोर पीपल आर विजिटिंग सो वी ऑलवेज शुड बी प्रमोटिंग सच इनिशिएटिव्स बिकॉज देन a lot of things has happened in the recent past so now the things are improving a lot yeah so Deepti moving ahead I want to ask another question which comes to my mind is like we are getting quite busy like हमें वो एक स्टेप लेना होता है बट हम वो भूल जाते हैं कि जहाँ पे हम हैं वहां पे क्यों अच्छा नहीं लगता है सो वी आर ऑलवेज लुकिंग फॉर मोर कि आगे ऐसी लाइफ होगी बट देन वी आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद वेयर वी आर टुडे सो ऐसे में what is your way of telling people how they can elevate their personal and professional life into certain situations?
One of the things is कि अगर आप आज खुश नहीं हो ना तो कोई गारंटी नहीं है कि आप फ्यूचर में एक पॉइंट होगा जब आपको XYZ चीजें मिल चुकी होंगी तब आप खुश होंगे. Because happiness does not depend on the outside. Remember, अभी हम क्वेश्चन एक पे बात कर रहे थे where you asked me कि आपकी happiness आपके actions पे dependent है. And
Yeah.
I said 100%. And that's why I say you may get the best job, you may be working in the best company, you may be running a business that's like growing every year. But Rohit, trust me, I get so many people who are doing so well. They're super successful. They're just going from one level to the other. But अंदर ना satisfaction ही नहीं है, happiness ही नहीं है. They're just like, why? What is wrong? What is going on? What do I do to feel happy?
Yeah.
And first of all, sort of just ground yourself in your now और आप कहाँ तक पहुँच गए, क्या क्या दे दिया आपको लाइफ. If you cannot be grateful today, if you cannot appreciate everything that you have today, there's no guarantee कि इससे 100 नहीं 10,000 times ज़्यादा भी मिल जाएगा तो भी आपको खुशी मिल जाएगी. एंड ग्रैटिट्यूड जब मैं प्रैक्टिस करना सिखाती हूँ अपनी क्लाइंट्स को,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like I have a home and I have a family and I have enough to eat, I have a job. Those are very like macro level things. I say go granular. आज
Yeah.
आपके दिन में क्या हुआ? Was somebody nice to you? Did somebody open the door for you? जो आपने खाना खाया उसमें मजा आया? Or maybe you watched a video and itna hase aap, you were like, oh my god, this is the best video. Maybe it was just a cat and dog video and it just made your heart melt. What are those little moments in your day? What are the things that you're doing that just are creating joy? And I specifically say creating joy. Wait मत करते रहो कि ये होगा कि मेरा बॉस मुझे अप्रिशिएट करेगा या मेरी वाइफ करेगी या माय चिल्ड्रन विल टेल मी आई एम द बेस्ट फादर बेस्ट मदर. वो सब तो वेट कर रहे हो ना.
Yeah.
Your actions decide your happiness. So how are you creating joy? How are you acknowledging what all of there is already present in your life. So there's this line that I absolutely love that I want to share because it's
For sure.
relevant here. You see what you are. तो जो आपका outside है ना, that's a reflection of your inside.
Yeah.
So if you're grounded there, if you can appreciate, feel grateful, if you can find purpose, not things, not achievements or milestones, if you can find purpose in your now where you're like, this is the meaning of my life, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, trust me, you need nothing on the outside. No cars, no achievements, no awards. You'll just be like, मेरी लाइफ तो सेट है यार, आई एम लाइक डूइंग सच ग्रेट थिंग्स, और क्या चाहिए.
बढ़िया. ये चाहिए लाइफ में, मतलब दिस इज व्हाट वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, दिस इज व्हाट हाउ वी हैव टू लीव आवर लाइफ. द अदर इवनिंग आई वाज वाचिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर वीडियो एंड दैट पर्सन वाज सेइंग कि हम तो भी इंसान है, लाइक वी हैव गॉट ब्रेन इवन लाइक अदर पीपल, लाइक द एनिमल्स डू हैव गॉट ब्रेन, बट देन they are still happy. Like if you look at the monkey, they don't have to do a lot of things, they just jump here and there, they are looking for the food, they are enjoying how they can tease people. So the bird is flying high in the sky. But then what is wrong with your life? You're a human, you understand how to deal with that particular situation, so you just have to be very conscious about your life. You have to take that particular decision and be content with it, so that you can figure out how you have to live your life. So I could relate your thoughts with the particular video, and you exactly like elaborated in the same way. Now, Deepti, you also ventured into entrepreneurship, like you were working into the business. So do you feel that entrepreneurship could be spiritual one?
Oh yes, 100% for me. Like, because I'm so purpose driven. For me, my purpose is an integral part of my spirituality. And like, just a little explanation. Like, लोग बहुत बार spirituality और life को अलग अलग देखते हैं कि ये मेरी professional है, ये personal है, ये spiritual है. मेरे लिए there is no distinction.
Okay.
मेरे लिए everything that I'm doing is a spiritual act. तो अगर मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, if I can appreciate the human being you are, if I can give you that respect, that love, that gratitude for whatever you're giving me, I'm doing a spiritual act right now.
Yeah.
So similarly, business is a part of life. And because for me, life as a whole is a spiritual journey, I believe sincerely, and that's how I do it, is that business is also a spiritual activity at the end of the day. And how I practice it is two things: intentions.
Okay.
If my intentions are good, right, clear, sincere, then irrespective of what anybody else is doing, what anybody else is expecting or thinking, I will do it the right way. A lot of times there's this misconception that spirituality is separate from, the world of profit and money. But there, I don't see that. Money is simply a resource जो
Yeah.
आपको यूनिवर्स देती है. मेरा कुछ नहीं है ना, तो अगर मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में 4 लाख हैं तो वो आ जाए, वो जा भी सकते हैं. Like
Definitely.
राइट. मेरी थॉट प्रोसेस एक स्ट्रेंथ है, मेरा एक रिसोर्स है, ऐसे ही वो मनी है. सो आई सी बिजनेस एज एन एक्टिविटी in which I am and I'm going to continue doing a lot of good. And that money is a resource that will flow in and flow out. I will use it to create a lot of good, to create a lot of positive impact. And at the end of the day, अगर आप स्पिरिचुअलिटी को समझने की कोशिश करो, जैसे हमारे गीता में बोलते हैं, निष्काम कर्म.
Yeah.
So जो आप काम कर रहे हो, ये मत सोचो कि भाई इससे ना मुझे इतना मिल जाए और मैं ये बन जाऊं और वो हो जाए. तो as long as your intentions are clear and you go in wanting to do well, तो फिर वो जो बिजनेस है या वो प्योरली चैरिटेबल एक्ट है या प्योरली पर्सनल एक्ट है, आपकी मम्मी की तबीयत खराब है, आप उनके लिए कुछ कर रहे हो, irrespective of the आपकी intentions, the way you do, you perform your action, and then how you let go is going to make it either a good spiritual act or just one that will trap you in, ऐसा होना था, वैसा होना था, ऐसा नहीं हुआ. Those emotions will entangle you. So it's how you think, how you act, and how you let go that makes something spiritual. And I conduct my business that way. So
Great, because the other day I tweeted that like, can science or spirituality coexist? So now this offers me a better clarity how we can look at this particular thing, because then most of the people debate around it like science is something that can always guide you with the facts, but then spirituality is something that more of the people don't understand how we should be looking at it, and it always confuses you. But then this type of explanation, this type of clarity of thoughts then always create a better perspective for the people who feel that spirituality also exists and it can coexist, is what I feel.
absolutely, I
Yeah.
agree. In fact, I feel like साइंस और स्पिरिचुअलिटी के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स भी सेम है.
हाँ.
अगर आप सोचो ना तो साइंस is looking for answers. So why does human life exist the way it is? How do we make this happen? How do we make that happen? And spirituality का भी वही purpose है, to help you understand yourself and the world outside and make the best of it.
Right. Great. So now, coming to the last part where I want to briefly understand, if you want to achieve clarity towards the goal, what is your go-to activities? How do you define the 5 pillars? Like, if you want to achieve clarity towards your goal, so can you just tell me in a brief?
So I would ask you the question, क्या चाहिए? क्यों चाहिए? And why do you think that this goal will give you what you want? So what do you want?
Okay.
Why do you want it? And why do you believe you will get what you want from this? So for example, let's say I want to become a coach. I'm not a coach. Let's assume. So I'm saying I want to become a coach. Why do I want to become a coach now? I could have like so many reasons. I could be, I want to make money, or I have this skill, I want to use it, or I want to make a difference to society. Like हर किसी के अपने अपने
Yeah.
And then what am I hoping to achieve from this? Like why do I think that coach banke I can make a difference or I can make money? Like where is the guarantee? Because एक रास्ते भी बहुत सारे लोग निकालते हैं.
Yeah.
But not everybody will be able to do what they want from that journey.
Right.
Not everybody will be able to make money out of it. Not everybody will be able to make a difference. So how do you make that correlation? So these are the 3 questions I ask to sort of help you get started. And why I say help you get started is because जब आप इसके अंदर घुसते हो ना, you start examining your own thought process, you realize that we as human beings are so conditioned कि हमें ये समझाया गया, ऐसे कहा गया कि आप ऐसे करोगे ना तो आप खुश रहोगे,
हाँ.
इसीलिए ये करो. But just observe, so many people around you are doing that exact same thing and they're not happy.
True that. Definitely.
assumption लेकर क्यों आगे बढ़े?
Yeah, you just have to question yourself that how you are going to achieve your goals, and with that particular questions you will always be finding clarity कि कैसे proceed करना है, because then आपको एक strength मिल जाती है, and when you try to look for those particular answers. So great way to look at it. But then again, few people will be stucking at it, so they might be procrastinating at certain situations as well. So again, how do you deal with procrastination? If you could tell us in a brief.
Procrastination is a very interesting thing because we tend to blame ourselves when we're procrastinating. हम lazy हैं, हम काम नहीं करते, हम ये नहीं हैं. But procrastination tells us something about ourselves that I think that it's worth realizing. मैं procrastinate तब करती हूँ, 2 reasons होते हैं usually. या तो मुझे वो करना ही नहीं है, या फिर उसे करने का रास्ता इतना difficult है कि मन नहीं है. Like भाई छोड़ दो, मुझसे नहीं हो पाता है. So that tells you you don't really have sincere, honest, strong desire to do that thing.
Yeah.
And it's nothing wrong with it. अगर नहीं करना हो तो मत करो, because there's something else that's right for you. But only when you stop blaming and criticizing yourself for procrastinating and just accept मैं ये नहीं करना चाह रही, तभी वो दूसरा रास्ता आप ढूंढ पाओगे जो आपके लिए सही है, जिसमें आप प्रोक्रास्टिनेट करना ही नहीं चाहोगे.
Right.
So there'll be such a strong calling कि नहीं यार ये करना है. For example, right? If I tell you आप ये दाल खाओ और आपको वो दाल अच्छी नहीं लगती और आप बोलोगे नहीं 5 मिनट, नहीं 10 मिनट, and then you find a different, let's say गोभी की सब्जी, and you're like, yeah, this is my favorite. You won't procrastinate.
Yeah.
That's life for you. Like if you're procrastination, that's also a clue to you about your intention. Use that. Don't criticize yourself. Just accept, love yourself. अच्छा यार नहीं करना. let's figure out what I want to do.
This is how we have to deal with it, listeners and viewers. You just have to note this particular point. This is the best way to deal with it, because then we get more clarity. We feel that this is how we have to do it, because then once we try to understand certain situations, once we try to get into those particular moments, and the way we react defines the kind of actions we are going to take. So definitely that is much needed. As I said, this was the last part, but then Deepti, we are quickly moving to the rapid fire before we wind up this particular episode. So the first question is like your biggest addiction.
Books.
Books. Which is the current book you're reading?
The current one is Bhagavad Gita. That's
Oh, interesting. So what is the number of books you have read in your life?
I have no idea. I've never kept count, but I sure hope it's like over 1,000.
Bapre.
I love them.
Great, great. What is the meanest thing you had done to someone ever? Such bolna.
I was in school. I was a young kid. I have a sister, and like एक दिन उसने बस में मुझसे मेरे लिए ना सीट नहीं रखी, and I went to like slap. She still reminds me of it. So I don't know if it's the meanest thing, but it was definitely super mean.
Okay, so you can just apologize for that particular moment through this episode.
I am sorry. Yeah, I have done that.
No worries. What you would prefer, like the experience or certificates, and why so?
Definitely the experience. Certificates, they add very little value in my opinion, and experience changes you as a human being. So, like, experience any day.
Great. So, what is the next destination you are looking to travel?
I want to go on a trek to the Himalayas. So, I don't have a destination in mind, but Himalayas. I want to go
Perfect.
there.
Perfect. It was great knowing these particular answers, because then it shows the personal life as well, like what are your interests and how you go through your life. So thank you for sharing that. And Deepti, it was such a great conversation. It was an eye opener for me, because those were not just the questions, those were some kind of moments where I can introspect for myself, and I hope the viewers will do the same. So thank you for giving me this particular opportunity where we could record a beautiful episode for our viewers, and I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking me these beautiful questions. Thank you for like reminding me of why I came here, why I started coaching, because it's a great reminder, like we get so busy in our life and our work that we forget. So thank you. And also I love like sharing what I had. Like I love doing that. That's why I write. So thank you for the opportunity.
Exactly. Thank you so much, and pleasure is all mine. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, and wish you the same. I hope your readers grow and they love you and they, like throng you with their love and support.
Thank you so much. And to all our viewers, if you want to connect with Deepti, the social links are in the episode description. Please find her profiles on the social media platforms, and you can definitely have a word with her. She's a gem of a person. That is my personal opinion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's kind.
Bye-bye. Stay happy. Take care.